I am very excited to show you guys my finished teardrop trailer. If you guys are interested in seeing how I did it, stay tuned. And again, please like and subscribe so I can still continue to build these videos. So let's get going. This is where we started off. See here that I started welding up the tongue of the trailer, the cross members, and the frame of where this will actually sit. Here's the first look of the trailer in its upright position. We have one fender on to mock it up, and we're making progress towards paint. Our frame has come together. We took some Rust-Oleum black paint, painted the frame, made sure it was all grinded and prepped before, of course. And you can see down here at the bottom, there was my two suspension components. I gave them a grind and a clean to make sure they were all ready to go and be installed. Here I added some scissor jacks to be able to get to my campsite. I can attach my drill to the end of this or do it by hand and set up eventually where my camper will be level so we can use it. As I move into the floor, this is kind of the time I had to look and say, okay, how can I build this? I want to insulate it, but I want to keep it lightweight. You'll see I used different kinds of materials here. I used some 1-inch styrofoam to gain some insulation on the bottom and sealed it all back up and put it back onto the trailer for its first look. Here it is, painted black, looking real good. The cabinets was an eye-opener for me. This is the first time I'd done kind of some of this woodworking. I don't have any high-end materials, just a basic design and a jigsaw, and I slowly made my way using pocket holes to attach these together. This is a basic utility birch that I could use from my local plywood store, and I stained it, as you can see here, with a clear coat just to give it some protection from scratching. And I think it really complements it. As we move forward to get it installed, in the end, it really does fit nicely in this trailer. As I move into the walls, I used basic utility plywood, knowing I was going to clad it both from the inside and outside. You can see I had a grid diagram here to try to keep my arch consistent angle. As our doors show up here, I was able to lay them on the table to give me a rough idea of where I wanted these. There's going to be a door on each side, and I wanted to make sure it was uniform. All right, let's stand these walls up. Man, what a cool feeling this was to see this trailer actually stand for the first time. I won't lie, there was a big part of me that thought, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but when I got to this part where I mocked in the walls and the door, this is where I really started to got excited. I got excited to move forward. This moved me into my plan for my exterior cladding, which in this case was going to be epoxy. The trick with epoxy is that it flows like a liquid, so I had to lay down my walls. I had to build a little dam around the outside there to trap all the liquid until it was able to dry. I prepped my colors. I was going after our local lake, Kalamaka Lake, and it was a beautiful blue color. So you can see me prepping through here, getting ready until I eventually poured the liquid on my walls and did my design. Now this was cool. And as you can see with this trailer, what an eye catcher this turned out to be. For my interior walls here, you'll see in the gray, I went to my local fabric store and bought a marine grade vinyl that I was able to glue on with a spray adhesive. And in the end, it turned out to be a really strong product and made the inside of the wall look really good. Being able to control the electrical in different parts of this trailer was a big priority for me. I wanted to have a tongue box here where it would store my normal RV battery, my terminal block for all my connections in case I had to replace a fuse. I have a 1000-watt inverter in there to change it from 12-volt battery power to 110-volt house power, if you will. And on the right hand side, I added a plug-in style battery tender so that I could charge up. I wanted to be able to plug in some of my small appliances that I use at home, but again, we are camping, so most of it was USB or USB-C based for phones or tablets, and I wanted to make sure I had all my bases covered. Here we moved our cabinets from our construction area onto the trailer for the first time, and I was able to stand up my exterior walls against my cabinets and start to attach them. It really drew my attention to see the epoxy standing next to it, and the project continued to move forward at a pretty quick pace after this. With my rear galley installed and some of my interior cabinetry in, the trailer started to take shape and allowed me to realize what the interior space was going to look like. As I moved towards the roof, I used a Baltic birch for the inside, a very thin layer, and added some of the structure around here. You'll see me add some different contact points that I was able to attach my roof aluminum to. I learned a lot about wiring on this project. As you can see, I moved through the phone. All of my power runs through the roof, not through the exterior walls. I wanted to be able to access it all in one point and seal it nice and tight from any water intrusion. Here begins the exterior cladding with some help from my family to get this all in place and wrapped around. The green tape was there to kind of guide me where my wires were and also where my fastening points were. I used a water-resistant tape on the outside edges just to give it a little bit extra protection, even though it would be sealed once we get the roof on. I moved on to my aluminum roof, which is a really cool product I bought from a local shop in town that was really flexible, and I was able to bend it from the front of the teardrop all the way back to my kitchen galley. Now, adding the exterior teardrop trim around it, not as easy as I thought. This took some practice. I had a couple pieces that didn't make the cut, if you will, and I really had to work my way adding relief cuts for this size of trim. In the future, I may use a smaller trim to see if it would bend easier, but I did have to add quite a bit of relief cuts to make this work. In my opinion, the trickiest part of this project was definitely the hatch. My plan was to take the shape of the trailer hatch by using some guideline template pieces, putting it on the side and getting the actual shape I wanted to, and then mimicking it with a rib-based system to give me structure. So you can see as I get my initial kind of sizing and my horizontal bracing, this is where I start to add the slats to give it some strength here to become an actual hatch. Once I had the hatch, the basic design I wanted, I moved it over to the other table and started some of my electrical for lights. My license plate light, you can see here some pot lights for my galley kitchen that I wanted to add using the same material, aluminum, that I used on the roof. I was able to stretch it down and get it fastened in place with a lot of crown nails on the outside. One of the most important parts of this teardrop build was the hinge system. I watched a lot of videos online, seeing different kinds of hinges that are out there, and I was able to find this hurricane hinge which pivots on the interior of itself, blocking itself from water the entire time. Really cool. I've now used this on a few different kinds of projects, and I highly recommend. I'm always a guy that wants to try something new. I've never built a cooler. I had no idea if it was going to work, but it was worth a shot. My inspiration came from the exterior of the trailer, and I thought, you know what, if I can insulate this and clad it and give it a drain hole, maybe this would work. So I was able to build this cooler, and it really gave some aesthetic looks to the kitchen and the galley of this teardrop. this point, I was extremely happy with how this was turning out. I had my gas struts on, I was able to close my hatch and secure it, and I was able to move on to my fenders. First day out in the sun, I was able to hook this trailer up and head down to the local commercial vehicle inspection station to weigh this teardrop and see what it actually weighed. My final weight came out at 560 kilograms, approximately 1,235 pounds. The first time on the streets, it got a lot of attention. In that bright blue, really turned some heads, which I enjoyed. The interior, I used a vinyl plank that I had left over from the inside of my house and was able to create a waterproof barrier on the bottom that really complemented the rest of the cabinets, the walls, and the lighting that was in here. I added some reading lights, some power, and I wanted to be able to control everything from inside this sleeping area. Now, I love camping as much as anybody else, but I like to be comfortable. I wanted the spring for the upgraded mattress, which we did at this RV Queen, and I can personally say this was the best investment I did. I spent $500 and bought a ND Queen RV mattress, and man, I am glad I did. I slept like a dream. It all came together. This trailer ended up so cool. I had never built anything like this before, and I was so happy of how it came out. I was able to build this project over a 6-month period, working on weekends on it or nights when I had time. But I think that it came together. I even was brave enough to enter my local show and shine to show off my product, and I received a lot of good feedback from the community. A lot of people were really curious. A lot of people asking me where I bought it, what dealership I bought it from, and once I told them it was home built, they were pretty surprised. All right, let's hit the outdoors and do some camping. It was my wife's idea that found this 13 by 13 tent really cool. Even when it rained, we were able to get in and out of the teardrop and work in the kitchen without getting wet. My wife's Subaru towed this trailer super nicely. But like any project that comes to an end, it was off to its new home. I had sold it to a local couple who were super excited to put it behind their Tacoma and explore British Columbia. I'm ready for the next. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was entertaining. I can't wait to start the next project.